The Missive, Men's Ministry, What It Means to Be a Man. Introduction. The competition is brisk and it's never before held higher consequences. I'm not talking about the competition between homosexual masochists for the current administration's new job opening for Chief of Staff at the Department of Nuclear Waste. No, the competition I'm speaking of is even more rigorous. The competition to define what it means to be a man. What does it mean to be a man? That is a question I often ask young men to get some sort of indication as to which side of the continental divide of worldviews they may or may not be standing on in the present moment, pronouns notwithstanding. It sounds really simple, doesn't it? What does it mean to be a man? What is the definition of man? Every man should be able to answer quickly, but they can't. So let's look it up. Here it is, the definition of what it means to be a man. When I do a quick Google search of the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it gives me these results. An individual human, an adult male, husband, lover, humankind, a bipedal primate mammal that is anatomically related to the great apes, but distinguished especially by notable development of the brain with the resultant capacity for articulate speech and abstract reasoning, and is the sole living representative of the hominin family. Merriam-Webster.com/dictionary/man. Now I'm confused, but not really. The Merriam-Webster definition is the whole point of today's missive. You see, there is a competition within culture to define what it means to be a man, and one that is a seductive treatise of philosophical half-speak filled with words that are often laced with dangerous adjectives like toxic masculinity, misogynistic manhood, or oppressive patriarchy. The competition to define man. Jesus called out the first century teachers who claimed knowledge about great things such as these. He said, "Can a blind man lead a blind man? Will they not both fall into a pit?" Luke 6:39. He rebuffs the Jewish leaders of the day for their so-called exalted knowledge, and in doing so, Jesus teaches us to be particularly cautious about who it is we follow, because the results often end up with us being led in a direction we did not want to go, the pit. The same cautious tale holds true today. If we define what it means to be a man by current scholarship, or a bunch of blind men, we will inevitably end at Darwin's theory of evolution. A man is an upright ape. Oh, and by the way, that means bipedal means upright on 2 feet. A man is an upright ape who has evolved to have articulate speech and higher reasoning. Knuckle-dragging, beer-drinking, obnoxious fool notwithstanding. But what are the implications of defining manhood like that? You're right, the pit. Who defines the meaning of man? Jesus said that the teaching you follow does matter. A disciple is not above his teacher, but everyone, when he is fully trained, will be like his teacher. Luke 6:40. If your teacher is a derivative of any teaching that follows the theory of evolution, you will eventually fall into the pit, no matter how articulate the speech or abstract the reasoning of the teacher might be. So, who gets to define what it means to be a man? The sovereign creator of man, God. Only the Creator gets to define his creation, and only the Creator can set purpose in that creation, and only the Creator can teach the creature of the meaning and purpose for the creation. Good men have struggled with this truth. In the 5th century, early church father Augustine wrestled with this great truth. Knowing that we can only truly know man through knowledge of God, he writes, "Thou hast made us for thyself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it finds rest in thee." Confessions 1.1. As well, in the 16th century, John Calvin struggles with the same truth, saying, "Nearly all the wisdom we possess, that is to say, true and sound wisdom, consists of 2 parts, the knowledge of God and of ourselves." The Institutes of Christian Religion 1.1. What were these men looking for? Both men then, as men do today, summarily understand that to rightly understand who we are as men means to rightly know the one who created us. They knew that to look rightly at ourselves and the rest of creation around us only points us to something greater that must define us. But what is there for us that breaks that creator-creature barrier? The beginning of wisdom. Scripture. God's revealed truth about who He is, what He has created, and why He created it. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Proverbs 1:7. This is the way out of the ditch. This is the truth that leads to life. Literally, this is the beginning of the definition of what it means to be a man. Conclusion. So men, if you're struggling with what it means to be a man, if you're lacking definition and the culture has blinded you with teachers leading you towards the pit, turn around from the culture and those teachers. Turn to Jesus. He is the creator of all things. All things were made through Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made. John 1:3. Let Jesus be your teacher. Let Him define manhood for you. Let Him define your purpose. Let Him define your potential. And as He becomes your teacher, your potential for knowledge and understanding will become as unlimited as your teachers.